Hey there drivers! Winter weather can be brutal, and one of the last things you would ever want, in a freezing morning is to have your brakes stuck. It's kind of a common procedure and common situation, but it leaves you stranded on the side of the road if you don't know how to deal with it. I hope you're watching this before your brakes are frozen, but just in case they're frozen, grab a cup of coffee, stay warm, and I will guide you through this process. Using tools like a hammer and a torch, I will show you exactly what you need to do to have those brakes back working again. Let's get started. Tip number 1. Do not park with engaged brakes. Engaging parking brakes immediately after driving can cause frozen pads, as the warm brake pads and drums collect moisture which freezes and sticks them together once the wheel stops spinning. To avoid this, always allow them to cool and leave a gap by not engaging the brakes right away. To avoid brakes freezing to the drum, use wheel chocks instead. If you do not have wheel chocks, at least have the trailer brakes released and the truck's brakes engaged, like we did in this case. Truck's brakes are set, trailer brakes are released. We'll leave as this over the night. Tip number 2. Inspect for snow and ice buildups on the brakes. Clear off accumulated snow or ice after driving. And tip number 3 would be to do an air tank drain daily. Before your shift ended or during your longer stays in a truck stop or somewhere, I highly recommend you doing air tank drain every time. I do have a separate video on air tank drain. I'm gonna include the video link in the comments below. Make sure you check it and do the air tank drain. Hey guys, let me introduce you to the brake gap. This is the space you need to look for when looking to make sure your brakes are released. If there is no gap here, you're gonna need a hammer or a torch in order to release your frozen brakes. Hit the brake drum with a hammer. Gently tap to loosen frozen brake shoes from the drum. You will hear a popping sound after the brakes are released, and you will be able to see the gap between the drum and the brake pads. Make sure you avoid hitting the brake pads. You can hit it only over the drum. So you take a hammer and you tap over the drum. The second option is to apply the heat with a torch. Apply the heat carefully to melt the ice. Remember the most important part, that you need to release the actual parking brake, the emergency brake. If you do not release this brake, you can be heating this drum all day and most likely it will not release. Make sure you release the brakes. Take a torch and heat it. Heat the drum where it meets with the brake pads. And be heating it until you will hear a popping noise, until the brake will pop, it will be released. After your brakes popped, make sure you visually check that there is a gap between your brake pads and the drum on all 4 brakes. And before you drive, make sure you mark your tires and visually check their spinning, So, you mark them somehow. Drive a few feet forward or backwards and check if all 4 tires spun. Thank you for staying with me till the end of this video. I hope they'll help you to get out of uncomfortable situation. If you want to express your thanks over a donation, make sure you check all the details in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe my channel and let me know in the comments below if I helped you.